All right, we are on to Workbook Lesson 119, which is part of review number 3. And remember, there are 2 lessons for each day of this review. Today, for morning and evening review. Number 1, paragraph 1, this is lesson 107. Truth will correct all errors in my mind. Truth will correct all errors in my mind. Commentary, I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. If I am God's son, whose self rests safely in the mind of God. All right, paragraph 2, lesson 108. To give and to receive are one in truth. To give and to receive are one in truth. Commentary, I will forgive all things today that I may learn how to accept the truth in me and come to recognize my sinlessness. On the hour, the beginning of the hour, top of the hour, truth will correct all errors in my mind. And on the half hour, 30 minutes in, to give and to receive are one in truth. So you do the lesson, those 2 lessons every hour, the top of the hour and the middle of the hour. So let's just talk a little bit. They're very short, right? But I think from what we've seen, there's a lot being said, and there's some nuggets you can pull out of this to see where Jesus is going with this, and his commentaries on the lessons here are different than his commentaries that he did when he brought the lessons in earlier for the first time. So 107, lesson 107, truth will correct all errors in my mind. So truth now, we've seen truth a couple times. Jesus was focusing on happiness, but he also said, lesson 104, I seek but what belongs to me in truth. And then lesson 106, let me be still and listen to the truth. So he's affirming that God is love, God is happiness, God is peace, God is joy, and I seek what belongs to me in truth. All those things are mine. If they are God's, they are also mine. God's will for me is perfect happiness, perfect joy, perfect love, perfect peace, perfection, the wholeness of perfection. And that is the truth, right? And that is my heritage, right? Jesus uses that word, the heritage, your heritage. So let me be still and listen to the truth. Let me be still and let me listen to the voice of love. Let me listen to the voice of light. Let me listen to the voice of non-judgment. Let me listen to the voice of true forgiveness. Let me not listen to the ego's raucous shrieks, as Jesus puts it, right? Let me not listen to the mouse roaring at the universe, which is what I almost always listen to until I start doing a practice like this, because I'm not aware even that I have a choice, right? This course is helping to bring the awareness that, yes, you do have a choice, actually. You know, you can choose what voice you're going to listen to, and you only have 2 voices. You have the ego's voice, which speaks the first and is always wrong, and is always the loudest, trying to get your ear. And then you have the Holy Spirit's voice, which is the still small voice, as it's called in the Bible, right? The still small voice of reason and common sense and spiritual truth. So truth will correct all errors in my mind. I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. So that's a very big one. I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. My true self.
Let's go.
All right, bud. Very soon. Very soon. Give me 5 minutes, okay? And I'm ready to go. Okay? Then we're gonna go.
I found my dinosaur in the kitchen.
Great, bud. Then we're gonna go play, okay? All right. Let me just finish this,
So
bud.
can we go to a different park today?
Maybe. But give me a little time, okay, bud? And then we'll talk about it. We'll see, bud. All right. So,
Which other park do you
I don't know, but let me just finish this, okay?
Whoa.
All right. So, Gandhi said, "Nothing can hurt me without my own permission." Gandhi wasn't necessarily getting at the exact same thing, perhaps, or maybe he was. He was definitely a follower of the Bhagavad Gita, and in the Bhagavad Gita, you have something very similar to what the course is teaching. My true self cannot be hurt, right? My true self cannot be. This is exactly what is said in the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2. Starting in chapter 2 of the Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna that the self cannot be wet, cannot be burned, cannot be hurt in any way, right? Your true self, your Atman, your soul, or your true self.
You're making a video while you're talking.
I'm making a video, bud.
Look how sticky my shoes are. Look how sticky. This thing is so wet that they're not even slipping.
Great, bud. Let me finish though. Mommy, can you go up to mommy, okay, bud? Let me just finish this video.
No, that I can't because I'm wearing my shoes.
Okay. You can go up.
Sonny.
So
I'm
I'm
wearing my shoes. I can't
my
do
true
it.
self is not even here.
I'm wearing my shoes.
At least
can't
not
do
as I
it.
think of it, right? I identify with my body, my personality, my egoic personality in this world, and Jesus goes on to say, "I am God's son, whose self rests safely in the mind of God." So, as God's son, I am still at home in the mind of God. I'm still at home in God. I am still one with God. And that self cannot be hurt in any way. And that self rests secure. That self is even here right now, in a sense, right? I can live in this world. Again, that saying, to be in the world but not of the world. I can live in this world and rest in that knowing that my true self cannot be hurt. My true self is safe. My true self is still at home in God and can never die. Now, what is that true self? I think the problem that most people have with this is, well, what is my true self? And I like being me. This personality, this individual. I like having a body. I like I like this life, right? I like, even though it's not perfect, I don't know if I can go for that idea of being one with God. That is disturbing. And I think many people have that, feeling. And I used to think, and I think a lot of people think that heaven must be very boring, right? Because if we're all just, the conventional view of heaven, with the little cherubim, the little angelic beings with harps and lyres and flying around with angel wings. Well, that's nice, but that must be kind of boring after a while, or however you understand heaven, that is a place of like perfect peace, even if it is with some kind of separation, but not egoic separation. It must get kind of boring after a while, right? Now, boring is a human term. From our perspective, things can be boring, and other things can be exciting. I'm just trying to I'm trying to get at, what is this self? I am God's son, whose self, with a capital S, rests safely in the mind of God. My true self, right, is still at home in God. But what is that true self? And Jesus does not tell us. Jesus just tells us that he's only pointing to that. He cannot tell us what it is. We will find out for ourselves when we're good and ready. Not until we're ready. And I think it's partly the understanding that do we really want to stay in this masquerade? There was that song, This Masquerade. George Benson did a great version of it. Do we really want to play this game of separation? Is that really worthy of the Son of God? Is that really worthy of us? I think the good thing is, and I think maybe the point of balance in all this is that you can be in your true self even in this world. Or you can get close to your true self and you can be living as if you're in your true self even in this world. Which would mean that there's that great saying that samsara becomes nirvana, right? The cycle of life and death and suffering, which is samsara, becomes nirvana, which becomes like paradise, like heaven on earth. So you could be experiencing heaven on earth while you're here. In other words, you could free yourself from suffering and you will see a different world, right? You will be living in a different reality, so to speak. You'll still be in the illusion, but you'll be in the quote unquote happy dream, what Jesus calls the happy dream. So I think that the main thing here is, if nothing else, let's say this, if nothing else, the Course is helping us to work through our feelings of guilt, shame, unworthiness, to remember that God is love, to remember to be kind and loving to ourselves and to others. And if nothing else, that seems to be an improvement, I would say. What about you? You tell me. Next one. To give and to receive are one in truth. Jesus' commentary says, I will forgive all things today that I may learn how to accept the truth in me. I will receive the truth and come to recognize my sinlessness. I will forgive all things today. I will forgive everything. I will let go of everything that is not true. Right? In that truth, all opposites, in the truth that is my true self, all opposites are transcendent, right? The world of opposites, the world of duality, giving and receiving are part and parcel of this world of duality. From the ego's perspective, when we give or when we forgive, we lose. Like, why don't we forgive people? Because if we feel like if we forgive them, then we have lost something, right? Whatever it is that we feel like we've lost. Maybe we've lost being right. Like, we want to be right and they're wrong, so I'm not going to forgive them because they're wrong, and I want them to suffer. I want them to feel the pain. Sometimes we say, give tough love, like, I love you, but I love you. That's like, you got to be cruel to be kind. And there might, I think everything has to be taken on a case-by-case basis. But in general, you don't have to be cruel to be kind. And you don't have to give tough love, right? You can be loving all the way through. But sometimes you might have to say something to someone, hopefully in a way that they can hear, not in a way that upsets them. And that's that's something, that's a lifelong learning. It's a skill that you learn over time, is how do I say something, how do I say this thing in a way that is not going to upset this person, right? And it has a lot to do with reading where the person's at and the person's energy, and trying to meet them where they're at versus where you expect them to be or you think they should be. So to give and to receive are one in truth. When I give, whatever I give, it comes right back to me, because we are all one, right? Anything I give, I receive. If I give according to the Holy Spirit, I receive the gifts of the Holy Spirit, which are the gifts of God. If I give according to the ego, I receive the gifts of the ego. And remember, the word gift in German is poison. If I give from an egoic place, I receive back that as well. Instant karma, which I'm going to talk about later in another video. But instant karma is the idea that for those with eyes to see, you will see that things come back to you. You will see the connection, the karmic connection between things, and you'll notice as you become more spiritually aware, let's say, you will see that things come back to you. They're not going to come back to you in some other lifetime. They're going to come back to you much quicker. And that's good, because that will help you, because you want to wake up. You want to free yourself of the binds of karma, so to speak. Karma just means action. And so in order to do that, things are speeded up for you, right? So your karma will come much, much quicker, and that's instant karma. And that's a good thing, because again, you want to wake up quicker, right? You want to get there this lifetime, not some other lifetime, because you want the joy now. You want the peace now. You don't want to wait for it. You don't want it to come at some later date. Why wait when you can, why wait for a later date when you can have it now? So I will forgive all things today, that I may learn how to accept the truth in me and come to recognize my sinlessness. By forgiving others, by letting other people off the hook, by not judging, by learning to let go of the judgment, let go of the anger, let go of the feelings of bitterness and revenge, the feelings of mistrust, distrust, and all the other things that go along with that, which are all egoic. By letting go of those things, I learn that I am free. Right? I free others, and I learn that I am also free. I am also without sin, and I am God's son. Everyone else is God's son, and we all go home together in that understanding. Maybe not everyone looks like they're going home, but they're going home as you go home, right? You get to the point where you realize the perfection of everything, and in that realization, you wake up from the dream. And in that waking up from the dream, everyone wakes up from the dream. So anyway, I hope this helped today. And the next lesson is 120, because 120 comes after 119. A Rest in God is coming next. And thank you so much for tuning in. I would always love to hear your thoughts, your suggestions, comments. Shout out to those who have been listening, like Caillou, Blaze Monkey, Ari, Chris, whoever else is tuning in. I really appreciate your tuning in, and these videos are for you if no one else, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.